signs in the sun, moon, and stars. Today we're going to look at a great sign. I believe I have found the sign of Revelation 12:7, the war in heaven. Let's examine the stars. First thing we're going to do is examine the date. Here we are, December the 19th, 2020, at 1 p.m. Pacific time. And what we're going to show, I believe, are multiple signs lining up to show us a story. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to focus on Venus. From our last video, we saw how the moon was in the claw of Scorpio. Here we see Venus in the claw of Scorpio. December the 19th, 2020. At the same time, it looks as though the Sun and Mercury align. In the Golden Gate. But the thing that impressed me the most and that motivated me to do this video was this sign. For those who have studied MAZZAROTH and have seen the signs at the birth of Christ, we know that Jupiter was the planet that was used to show the birth of Christ. Jupiter, the planet, is also, I believe, the planet that is being shown here during what I believe is the Great War in heaven. So let's see what I mean. We're going to scroll into Jupiter. Before we do that, we're going to pull up the date again, just to make sure everybody sees what we're talking about. This is December the 19th at 1 p.m. This is my starting point for the war in heaven. Revelation 12:7. As we scroll in closer to Jupiter, we will see something else there. Saturn appears. And as we scroll in, we will start to see something that appears. Here we have all of the moons of Jupiter lined up in the heavens. And what we're going to do is we're going to show that Saturn's moons are also lined up in the heavens, and these two are coming against each other in a way that I have never seen myself. I'm going to have to go back and track how many interactions like this have happened in the past. But this is a spectacular scene in the heavens that looks just like a war. So let's scroll out a little bit more so you can see how close they are. As soon as I get to a certain point, Saturn disappears and they essentially become conjunct. But as we scroll into the heavens, we can see that Saturn and Jupiter are coming against each other. I scroll back, Saturn disappears. I scroll in, and we start to see the moons align as if there's a great war in heaven. And the closer I get, the more of the moons that appear. And it looks as though all of these moons are aligned in a line, as if they were going to line up for war. And the thing that impressed me the most was this day count. So down here we're going to go to the date and we're going to run this through. And it looks as though on the winter solstice and the following day that Jupiter and Saturn come so close in the heavens with all of their moons lined up against each other that it looks like a great war in the heavens. So let's go a day closer, and they get closer, and a day closer, and they get closer, and the following day, and it looks as though these two are coming against each other. And on the 23rd, they essentially line up side by side in the heavens. If we scroll back, we'll see that at a very specific time, Jupiter actually surpasses Saturn, and I believe it's here. So let's go back to our view of the heavens, and we're going to go back and we're going to look at our landscape, and we're going to look at it as if we were looking to the east. And we're going to remove the landscape. looks as if the 21st they are aligned, and on the 22nd in the heavens Jupiter comes over Saturn, and it looks as though on the 23rd that Saturn is cast down. And let's take a look at this in the heavens. Remember, the ecliptic is what we're looking at. Jupiter on the 19th is under Saturn. The planets are traveling in this direction. Jupiter is traveling in this direction, coming against Saturn. And it looks like on the 22nd, 23rd, right there, 22nd, you can see this war happening in heaven. If this isn't a war, I don't know what is. And this is all happening from the 19th as they come in. We'll start at the very beginning of the 19th and run this through. Revelation 12:7, the war in heaven. Here comes Saturn and the army. The war begins. Saturn's cast down. Signs in the sun, moon, and stars.